very warm welcome to Daily Dispatch powered by HSBC. I'm Priya Sheth, and joining me for this very interesting conversation is Rahul Anand from Hopscotch. Rahul, many thanks for joining us today. I want to begin by talking to you a little bit about the last couple of months. It's been the boom of D2C, and we've seen a lot of traction, specifically in the online space owing to the pandemic. So how has Hopscotch fared? If you could tell us a little bit about how the journey has been.
No, thanks, Priya. You're absolutely right. It's been an incredibly exciting time. Hopscotch is probably one of the older D2C brands. We've been working at this for many, many years now, and we're uniquely positioned. Sometimes it takes a tailwind to find the right plane, and fortunately, Hopscotch has been at the right place, right time to take advantage of this. We've had very strong growth and achieved considerable size on our own hotstop where we began our business. And as we looked at the evolving world that we're living in, given a lot of online adoption post-COVID, we began to realize that it was important for Hopscotch to be present in every single online point of distribution that parents shop at. And so we've spent the year 2021 expanding partnerships to drive distribution on third parties. And we've seen over 100% growth year on year by the addition of these third party platforms, right? And so I think, as we look at the business, we're incredibly excited. The third party platforms were starved of strong kids brands. There are none in the country that they could count on that were organized with strong selection. And Hopscotch had the strong selection. So the marriage with these third-party partners has been incredibly successful for both sides.
Right. Rahul, tell us a little bit about what 2022 looks like for Hopscotch.
Yeah, it's I think we're going to do a lot of what we've already been doing. Essentially, as we look at the market, Priya, this is about 1 lakh crore rupee opportunity. Consumers in the fashion space are starved across the country in almost every single occasion that they tend to need to shop for when it comes to their kids. And so as your child grows, you not only need to buy larger and larger sizes to keep up with the pace of growth, but you also begin to engage in different activities, from sporting to going out to parties, buying ethnic clothes for different festivals and occasions. And what we're doing is we're going very deep into the selection side of the business, and we continue to build more and more selection offerings that are simply unparalleled in the country. So we're going to keep doing what we've already been doing, but we're expanding our perspective and going deeper into understanding the consumer and ensuring that we've got the best selection to offer him or her for all of their children.
So will you be looking at expanding into newer categories, or will you be looking at perhaps, collaborating with more partners in 2022?
Yeah, I think a little bit of both, Priya. We let me start with your second question. Hopscotch forged a partnership with Amazon a little over a year ago, and what we've spent the year 2021 doing is expanding those partnerships and having conversations with a lot of other third-party platforms. And so we're live on Snapdeal, we're live on Flipkart, we're live on a bunch of these platforms. We're not live on many as well. And so we're working very closely with each of those partners to figure out how we can help them strengthen their selection by featuring Hopscotch fashion on their platform. In terms of category extensions, yes, absolutely. Hopscotch does an incredible job when it comes to fashion for special occasions, right? Whether it's a wedding or Raksha Bandhan or Diwali, Navratri, any of these festivals, weddings, birthdays, we have amazing selection. And so we've really cracked the code on offering consumers the best selection for these special occasions. What we're starting to double click on is how do we really make that, how do we really make life exceptionally exciting for everyday fashion as well, right? Like, why is it only that we're focused on occasion, right? Why can't we go into more of the everyday wear categories? And so we're going deeper and deeper into understanding what does a child need when he or she goes down to play? What does a child need at home, given a lot of kids are stuck home doing school online or just playing at home. What does a child need for sleep, right? And so we're going deeper and deeper into these everyday categories, and asking ourselves the question on how do we really give the consumer complete and unparalleled assortment that she's never ever had before. Because as we look at the market, I think the more and more parents we speak to are appreciating and loving what we do at Hopscotch. They feel that we're able to really help them access fashion that they otherwise never have access to, especially in small towns, right? Small town India, tier 2 and smaller towns are what we call Bharat, right? Is driving 80% of our revenue. So in many ways, we're like, look, yeah, we may have had the privilege of growing up in big cities, but as a brand, Hopscotch is really serving the needs of that mom and dad in Bharat, right? And it's not just the special occasions that he or she is starved of, right? Those consumers are craving great selection for their everyday needs too.
Tell us a little bit about investment. I believe you've raised a couple of about $60 million so far in terms of funding. What kind of investment plans do you have going forward? Are you speaking to investors at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question, Priya. We've been a profitable business for the last couple of years, right? And we've been one of those unique businesses that have been able to scale our top line growth while maintaining profitability. And it's given us, a lot of confidence to keep doing what we're doing. Clearly, we're on the right path here. We're not burning money to achieve the growth rates we are. Now, while that is great, I think as we look at life going forward, we do believe there's a lot more that we could do with raising institutional capital, right? So we're going to be going out into the market this month itself in Jan of 2022. And we're working very closely with an investment bank to begin having conversations to raise about $30 to $40 million of primary capital. So far, we've had only preliminary conversations with investors who we've been in touch with, and there's extremely strong appetite for direct to consumer, and invariably that means, given Hopscotch's humongous size and scale in the D2C category, there's a lot of interest to sort of support us in our future journey as we go ahead.
Right. I want to understand, Rahul, in terms of key metrics, revenue as well as growth rates going forward, what kind of plans have you set for yourselves?
Sure. Priya, in the past, we have grown our business in the last 5 years from 100 to 500 crores, right? And so we've seen very strong and supportive growth. And I think if we keep going the way we're going, we'll probably hit about 2,500 crores in the next 5 years, right? What we're keen to do is question how and what capital could enable us to do. And we believe that with an injection of capital, we could actually get from 500 to 5,000 crores in the next 5 years. That's about 10x growth as we look at life. And so we're looking for the right partners, financial partners who are not just keen on, being part of our growth journey, but also sort of supporting us with other strategic capabilities that they may have in terms of relationships, knowledge of the space, as we plan to take the business forward in the next 4 to 5 years.
All right, Rahul, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thanks so much for your time.